safe on campus? I'm Nick Geyer. I'll have the answer coming up.
March Madness is underway.
And the school year is winding down. It's time to look for subleases.
Stick around, GV10 News is coming up. Good morning, Grand Valley. I'm Derek Wolf.
And I'm Mackenzie Thaden. A recent incident at the University of Central Florida sparked concerns about guns and violence on college campuses. There, police stopped a student who had planned a shooting massacre. Nick Geyer checked into campus security at Grand Valley and asked students if they felt threatened.
In recent events like this one in Florida where a college student brought a gun to campus, we asked GVSU students if they feel safe on campus.
I felt perfectly safe. I had numerous, 6 to 9 classes and walked at night, never felt threatened at all.
Students have a number of reasons why they feel safe on campus.
I feel like not only about the GVPD vehicles going around making me feel safer, also knowing that there are other people there watching out for us. So,
because there's a lot of people and it's very lit outside.
The students I spoke with feel really safe while they're on campus. But I did come across a few that believe security could be improved a little bit.
I think maybe having safety kiosks or the panic emergency buttons placed throughout campus might just be smart so we stay ahead of the curve.
Campus police encourages students who feel unsafe walking on campus to use the department's Safe Walk program.
Investigators say a fire in northwest Grand Rapids last week was caused by arson. Authorities will not state what started the fire, but the Mena family who lived in the home claims it was ignited on purpose when someone threw a brick through their window. Authorities are still gathering information with the help of the Mena family and neighbors.
Ionia County will remove what officials say is a hazardous dam from the Grand River. The State Department of Natural Resources donated nearly $1 million to the village of Lyons for the dam's removal. The dam itself has been a controversial topic for years and no longer holds back water or powers any structures. It has not produced any electricity since 1959.
Well, coming up later, Grand Valley cheerleaders bring it on at a statewide competition.
And we have the weather.
This week may have started with gray skies and cold temps, but I can tell you when you can expect that sunshine to come breaking through coming up.
Former Congressman Patrick Kennedy of Rhode Island visited Grand Rapids on Monday. Kennedy shared his story of battling mental illness at the Economic Club of Grand Rapids. He met with members of the community for a talk on the state of mental health policies. The son of late Senator Ted Kennedy has battled bipolar disorder and depression for most of his life.
On Friday, the Brothers of Sigma Pi fraternity were picking up trash in the ravines, cleaning up dormitories, and doing other jobs of facility workers. It's all part of ACE Week, or Altruistic Campus Experience Project. The goal is to give back to staff, students, and the community. One job including fixing bicycles for staff to use. Workers say that the work that the brothers are doing is extremely appreciated.
Oh, it is because our staff doesn't have time to do that. It's kind of a easy hands-on job. You know, most students are familiar with bicycles. So.
Coordinator of ACE, Jarrett Weber, says that this is the first year that ACE has been extended to a full week. There was also the Pie a Pie event. Students got to throw a pie at a frat brother to raise money for the student food pantry. Now we're here to check out weather with Jessica Smith to find out if or when spring will ever get here. Jessica?
I think it's safe to say that we're all a little tired of the snow and cold temps here in Michigan, but it could be worse. As you can see here, Storm Virgil is wreaking havoc across the Midwest as it works its way to the Mid-Atlantic region. And lucky for us, Virgil and Michigan won't be crossing paths, so we're in the clear. Other states aren't so lucky. Colorado got about a foot of snow on Sunday, and states across the Midwest region can expect 4 to 10 inches. Cooler temps in our region kept snow sticking, and that was a good thing for snowboarders and skiers taking advantage of the long winter. This picture comes to us from student Chelsea Knott from the Cannonsburg area in Belmont, and the weather doesn't seem so bad from this view. For the rest of you who are ready to hang up your winter coats, warmer temps are on the way. Here's a look at our 5-day forecast. We can expect to see some light snow showers today and tomorrow, but things are going to clear up by Thursday. That sun is going to bring warmer temps and put us right around the 50 degrees area going into the weekend. Hopefully we're going to see some of that snow melting, and possible rain shower on Friday could help speed up the process as well.
So I hear some people in Ohio are not so fond of this winter.
That's true. There's a prosecutor from Ohio who is calling the death penalty for Phil the groundhog, who said spring was on its way, but we've had this long winter, so it seems like he has a serious case of the winter blues.
Yeah, poor Phil. Thanks, Jessica.
We're getting closer to the end of the semester, but before some students can get too excited, they have to find a subleaser for summer. You can see roommate wanted ads like this one all over campus. Grand Valley students with 12-month leases who may be graduating, returning home for a summer job, or studying abroad are often the people in search of summer subleases. Many upperclassmen say they depend on freshmen who are staying for the summer and moving out of an on-campus residence hall. Marcus Zimmerman, a current GV sophomore, is returning to the east side of the state and says that's part of the reason why he joined a fraternity.
I know the place that I'm especially living at is filled with Greek people, so it's definitely easier to ask around, seeing as how everyone is connected and can communicate with each other. So.
Other upperclassmen we spoke with said another challenge is finding a subleaser their current roommates do not mind living with. Now, how are Michigan teams faring on the road to the Final Four? We'll tell you with sports coming up next.
And we'll hear from resident cheerleading expert Spencer Wheelock.
Flips, twists, and tumbles. Cheerleading isn't just about standing on the sidelines anymore. These athletes can fly. I'm Spencer Wheelock. I'll tell you more coming up.
The Special Olympics held their state basketball championship opening ceremonies in Rockford on Saturday. WZZM's Juliet Dragos was there to MC the ceremonies in front of a packed gymnasium. Players were brought out in a parade that acknowledged their accomplishments. The games took place on Sunday. And now Stephanie Weinstein is here with us in studio to talk about sports. Steph, what do you have for us?
All right, thanks, Derek. It's a wonderful time of year, March Madness. Many people already set up their brackets and are now glued to the screen hoping their picks make the cut. Even President Obama is getting in on the fun and picked Michigan to reach the Elite Eight. Let's look at some first-round action. It was Michigan versus the South Dakota Jackrabbits. Tim Hardaway started the game off right, scoring from three-point range. And Glenn Robinson shoots. It bounces off the rim and it goes in. Robinson ended the night with 21 points, shooting from 8 of 9 from the floor. There goes Robinson again. Not such good news for Trey Burke, though. After going for a rebound, Burke takes a nasty spill. Let's look at it in slow-mo. Looks like too many bodies in one place, and it sends Burke to the ground. He was sent to the locker room to check for a concussion, but came right back into the game. Michigan advanced to the second round after beating the Jackrabbits 71-56. Michigan State also dominated the tournament and advances to the third round after beating Valpo 65-54. Now off to the NHL. This past Wednesday, the Wings took on the Minnesota Wild. During the second period, 3 shots for Wild, no scores from the Wings yet. Then the Wild's Kyle Brodziak slides right in to score. Unfortunately, Gustav Nyquist wards back from the game, skating alone, and takes one for the team, finally putting Detroit up on the scoreboard. Unfortunately, Nyquist's dedication didn't pay off, and Devin Sedicucci made his second goal of the night with a hard-butchering shot on Danny Heatley's rebound. Minnesota Wild wins 4-2. Remember the Super Bowl blackout? It was probably one of the most talked about topics during the game. This week, a report was released by a utility company, Entergy New Orleans, stating a design flaw and human flaw caused the blackout. Officials say a recently installed relay and a design defect that caused it to trip out. Poor communication between the manufacturers and the utility company also played a role. The power was shut off to half the arena in the third quarter of the game. The game was delayed for 34 minutes.
Well, back to basketball for a sec, Steph.
Yes.
We've got Michigan and Michigan State both advancing to the round of 16 now. Are you rooting for anyone in the tournament?
Yeah, I'm rooting for the Wolverines. On paper, they sound great. I mean, Trey Burke might as well be the best point guard out there. And Michigan is actually ranked the top 30 teams in both field goal percentage and points per game. So we'll see.
Certainly a tough task for the Wolverines with Kansas coming up next. Thanks, Steph.
Definitely. Thank you.
A little slice of Tanzania came to Grand Valley last week to raise awareness about the lack of proper sewage in Africa. Students gathered in the Niemeyer Multipurpose Room for a night full of fun and games with a serious message. The fundraiser's goal was to raise money to get a school in Tanzania a sewage system and new restrooms. Event coordinator Colleen Condro became inspired after visiting a school in Tanzania that was lacking basic facilities.
Right now, children don't have any toilet systems in Tanzania. There are some that do, but as a result, many students perish. In fact, like 1 out of 3 people in sub-Saharan Africa do not have proper toilet facilities.
Condra plans to have $10,000 raised before she travels back to Africa this summer. It's a sport that many of us know little about. Some might not even know it exists on campus. Spencer Wheelock is here to tell us about competitive cheerleading. Yeah.
You know, it's really something I knew nothing about, and I kind of just stumbled into the arena one day, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty crazy stuff. I learned very quickly just how exciting this sport can be.
"11 schools from across the state made their way to the GV Fieldhouse for the first annual Laker Cheer Classic. Those involved with GV squad tell me that, as a whole, cheerleading is a very misunderstood sport.
A lot of people think cheerleading is just standing on the sideline and looking cute and shaking your pom-poms, and they don't realize the competitive side of it and how much athleticism goes into it.
Rigorous training, broken bones, and countless bumps and bruises are all part of the culture of competitive cheer.
We hit the gym probably more than we're actually at practice. It's a lot about strength conditioning, also endurance, because you can have the muscles, but if you're tired after 2 throws, there's no point.
It is a 2.5-minute routine jam-packed full of just it's literally like running a marathon and then lifting weights right after that. It's really hard work.
This event was a chance for schools to showcase their routines before heading to nationals in Florida in April, the Super Bowl of college cheerleading.
There's hundreds of teams from all over the country competing for one title, so it's high stakes. It's awesome.
So forget everything you ever thought you knew about cheerleading. These aren't just a bunch of airheads yelling catchy rhymes to get the football team fired up.
This is nothing like the movie Bring It On, is it? No, it's nothing like it. The girls took 3rd place in the all-girls division, and the co-ed team scored the most points at the event, and they just dominated in the co-ed division.
So did you learn any new moves while you were there?
You know, I think I would pull a muscle, break a bone. I don't even want to begin to even attempt any of these things. These people were flying around. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. It was pretty exciting stuff. I'm happy that I went and experienced it.
Well, I'm glad too. Thanks, Spencer.
Yeah. Well, that's all for us today at GV10 News. I'm Derek Wolf.
And I'm Mackenzie Thaden. Have a great day, Grand Valley.